Yo, you listen to more about something else? This is Joshua. And on this episode, I talk about my struggle with religion. It's very personal, but I struggle with it. And I also talk about the things that's going on in Florida. But here's a snippet of the show. And please, go watch Black Panther one more time. I'm gonna tell you guys, go watch that shit. And also, go check out the website, moreaboutsomethingelse.com. Please and thank you. God is real. Like, that's evident. There's nothing about that can ever be discredited. And I'm wholeheartedly speaking that truth because that is the truth. I don't care about knowing what God looks like because I know that God is around me. I know that God's forces are around me. Now that you heard that, enjoy the show.
First off, I'm going to have to ask you to go and rate this show, maybe even leave a comment. And you could do that on iTunes or SoundCloud, and for Android users, you can now listen via Google Play. Now, this podcast may contain explicit content, just saying, so open your mind, relax, and listen to this dope-ass podcast.
For thought, coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest to find more about something else. Hey, food for thought, coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest.
If people don't understand that, well, they don't understand nothing.
Truth spilling, leaving victims to my honest ways. I come in peaks like an alien from outer space. Internet pirates riding waves on your webpage. Download the shit, click the link, press play. I don't mean to pray, but I pray every week for myself, for my fam, cause we all gotta eat. Protein, no more sweets. Till I'm caked up on the beach in Belize. Food for thought, coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest to find more about something else. Wait, food for thought coming fresh, I'm the chef. I got greens for your brain, have a taste, it's the best. Food for thought from the flesh, tag along on the quest to find more about something else. Wait.
Yo, you listen to more about something else? My name is Joshua. And, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been rocking with this show. We're still going strong. And, if this is your first time listening, or your second time, or your third time, I truly, truly appreciate it. Hopefully you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hopefully you can review this show. And hopefully you can tell a friend. I don't know. I mean, these are just some suggestions that I'm throwing out there. You don't really have to do it. Just enjoy the show. But yeah, man, please go check out the website. Moreaboutsomethingelse.com. It's still being constructed and things are still going on, but it's out. Like, just go check it out. Besides that, I've been sticking to my word about these challenges and trying to stay consistent and whatnot. And it's cool because I feel like it's making me change into a better person. And who doesn't want to be a better person, right? So, taking cold showers, 1, doing yoga, 2, time management, 3, and the 4th one that I decided to add to this week, and this is the last week of February, is that just working out in general. I love working out and everything, but it's one thing when you go to the gym to go work out. It's another thing when you start bringing your workouts home. It's like you are starting to notice changes, or like I can say for sure that, when I bring my workouts home, I start to notice changes, but I've been slacking. And that's why I'm trying to stay consistent about it right now. But, just doing my push-ups, doing my pull-ups, doing my sit-ups at home, and going to the gym as in addition. Like, we say that, you cannot have those body goals overnight. Like, that shit takes a long time. But if you take that shit at home too, it's a different story. Your time span that you're spending in the gym is going to be cut short because you're already reaching those goals, so that you can, set new goals because you're going to reach that goal right then and there. And I'm not promising you that, shit's going to be like super, super fast, but you're going to see progression in your workouts. You're going to see progression in your body. But hey, that's what I'm going to do. It's still the new year. It is still the new year. It's crazy how January was a long ass month and February is gone pretty much. Next week is March. And the question is, have you guys been sticking to your New Year's resolutions? I mean, it's not that I saw a lot of people talk about it, but honestly, like, have you guys been sticking to what you said that you were going to do? A lot of people said that they were going to change for the better of them, and I don't know. I've been seeing some people act the same, you know. I've been seeing people get lost. And I don't know. I just want to say that there's still time to change yourself. I mean, well, there's always time, whether it's in the year or whatever. But there's always time to change yourself. And if you don't want to change yourself, do you? Things that bother me this week. The state of Florida is probably one of the craziest states to live in. You know, those people are weird. Everything that can go wrong happens in Florida. You hear the weirdest stories. But that's not what I want to talk about Florida. You know, the discussion about gun laws, just in general. Their own little state government, they've banned the consideration to even talk about it. And now the question is, what do you do? Because these kids, they're not having it no more. There's two proposals that came out. There's one that says metal detectors in the school. I don't find that to be a good idea. I really don't. First of all, you're gonna have metal detectors at all doors. What if one of these doors are not being attended to? Like, honestly, I used to sneak into the school when I was late or when I left school to come right back to school. And I don't know, like, I can find a door that was open, and for you to say that there's a metal detector there now, I don't feel like they would even think about doing metal detectors because I don't feel like the school's gonna pay for that. That's very expensive. You know the government doesn't want to pay for the kids. Like, they don't care about the kids. So why would they have funding for metal detectors? But hey, I don't know. That's one. But the other one is what's this called? I think it was the state of Alabama that even proposed it. But like, people in Florida are talking about it, and they're talking about the teachers having guns in the classroom. That is the most dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I can equivalent just police officers and them feeling threatened and shit, and I'm just like, look, all it takes is one of these old ass white teachers to say something about they felt threatened, so they shot the kid. You know, it's just shit like that. Because there's a lot of teachers that they're not shit at all. Like, they're garbage. They're just there for tenure. Like, they don't care. They're there to get a paycheck and leave. Like, they don't care about the future, and that sucks. You know, that really does suck. But what's worse is that you're trying to arm teachers and give them guns. Like, it's just not a thing that we should think about. That's not a thing that we should even discuss. Why? I don't know. It's just extra training. Like, it's just extra procedures for what? It's sad enough that kids have to, you know, realize that, yo, I may get shot going to school, you know? And you know, the craziest thing about all this that was going on about the Florida shooting was that the police deputy was outside the premises when everything was going on, and apparently he resigned. And you know, that's just crazy by itself that, you know, kids were getting shot up and you weren't doing shit. And this is somebody that swore an oath to protect and serve. I don't know. I'm speechless about that. But yeah, teachers with guns, bad idea. They're also trying to have like students have guns in the schools, like a select group of students to have guns in the schools. Let one of these kids' parents die, and then mental illness happens. Or let one of these kids get bullied, and then mental illness happens. And then what? They gonna start shooting shit up, and then they gonna be like, oh, I don't know how little Johnny did it. He was such a good kid. Fuck that. I don't know. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Guns are not the issue here. Well, I don't want to say guns are not the issue, because they are the issue. It's just a matter of fact of how somebody can obtain a gun. And apparently it's easy. Contrary to what I said last week about going to academy to go and get a gun, hey, you can go to a gun show right now and tell the supplier, hey, like, I got this amount of money, and slide this gun to me under the table and we good. It doesn't matter what age you are. Money talks. And it's crazy because the government is not talking about doing anything, because now they're saying, oh, it's mental illness. Mental illness don't kill nobody. Guns do. But I don't know. I just don't see the point in having a assault rifle to hunt. First of all, like, what are you shooting up that you need an assault rifle? But hey, like, you know, one of my friends told me about a book. I actually forgot about the book, but the book came out in 1981, and the book stated that, you know, America, the people of America, are going to disarm themselves of their rights when it comes to bearing arms, because they are showing that they can't function, or they don't know how to operate bearing arms. And he was just talking about that because it makes sense. Sooner or later, the government's gonna come election and they're gonna say, you know what, we're gonna take away the guns or whatever. Cool, like, but just know that it's the fault of the people. Like, I don't know, it's crazy. And now all these companies are starting to like distance themselves from NRA. That's probably the best thing that you can do, you know. But hey, like I said, guns are not for everybody. Guns are just for people that need them to protect themselves, quote unquote, or, you know, if you hunting, or if you're in the military. Other than that, you don't need no reason to have a gun. Yeah, besides that, one thing that's pissing me off the most is that they're talking about these reboots. You know, I've mentioned it before, and I think that is probably the most dumbest thing that you can ever do. This is my thing. Like, why is it that you guys love to live in the past? Martin was for the 90s. It was specifically for the 90s. It's one thing if they come out with like a movie or something, or a 3-day episode, you know, Where Are They Now or whatever, but are you gonna have a whole season with Martin, Gina, no Tommy, Pam, and Cole doesn't even want to be in the show anymore? So it's just like, what's the point in doing that? But it bothers me because people can't get over stuff like this. It's just like them saying, oh, well, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air can come back and, you know, he can be the father and Jaden can be the son, a spoiled son, whatever. Like, it's stupid. Like, stop trying to live in the past. I know these shows mean so much to you, but it was for that time. You know, just rewatch the show if it's that serious to you. But hey, if that's what you want, that's what you want. You know, I would lose a lot of respect for Martin and pretty much the whole cast if that was ever a thing. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, that's the things that bother me this week. So I saw Black Panther, right? I did, and you niggas are annoying. It's just really annoying to me that you can take things out of context, or you can take things and just say, like, maybe it's your comprehension of things. But I feel like people like to pick on things knowing that they can probably get away with it, or just pick on things knowing that, I don't know, just picking on things, just little things, trying to critique it. One thing that, you know, I don't really know if it's true or not, but they were talking about the LGBT, that's how you say it. Yeah, LGBT community, they're upset with Black Panther and the cast and whatever because it was a lack of representation. It's not all about you guys. Like, that's just like plain and simple. It's not all about you guys. You know, stop reaching. You know, there's one thing that as soon as Black Lives Matter came out, then LGBT Lives Matter came out, then Blue Lives Matter came out, and then everybody wanted to claim their own little piece. But it's just like, bro, we have a whole black cast in the movie. 2 white guys at the most. 2. And y'all are getting mad saying, well, y'all not representing us, so we're disappointed. Who cares? Like, let us have this one first before y'all get upset about something. But hey, the movie was good. It wasn't to the point where everybody was talking like, oh my God, like this is just the best movie ever. I don't think so. I feel like it was really mediocre, very clear upon the message that it was trying to portray, but it shows a lot, you know? And let me be honest with you guys, right? So I'm Nigerian, and I have immigrant parents that immigrated they immigrated from Nigeria to England. And they conceived me and my brother, and we all migrated to America. So let me tell you the difference between black people and Nigerians, right? So immigrants, they're just taught that just go in and work as hard as you can, and don't get sucked into whatever it is that regular black people are sucked into. And this is no offense to anybody. I'm just letting you know from the perspective of an immigrant. And this is not just black people. This is every type of race that deals with this, like Asians, Middle Eastern, Mexican, the whole 9 yards. This is just how they look at things from an immigrant's perspective. And this is the difference. And I'm not knocking anybody that was born here or that grew up here or even anything about their ancestors, right? But immigrants come, they work. The most successful group of people right now are Africans in this country. And it's weird because they come and they work hard. And this is just all immigrants. They work hard for what they want. They work hard for what they get. And still, they still struggle. But then you see their kids, and their kids come and they strive. Why? Because they saw their parents struggle. And the politics about it is like the way you're grown up, the way your parents choose to bring you up, they tell you don't get your mind wrapped up in what's going on in the world right now. And they make it distinctively clear that you are not American, that you are pure Nigerian, that you guys are not the same. And the thing about it is just like a lot of black people or African American people don't like Africans. And let's just be really honest right now that being African wasn't popping until a couple years ago. You know, I was called African booty scratcher for a long time by African Americans, and I don't know, it was just weird. Like, it wasn't cool. Like, I can say that, yeah, in some form or fashion, it was a type of a form of bullying, and you know, it's okay because I don't care about it anymore. But I'm just making it clear that it was my own people that called me African booty scratcher, right? And you know, I'm only bringing this up because as a Nigerian, we have or not even Nigerian, as an African, we have pride, super pride. We have pride. There's no limit to the amount of pride that we have, and that's just how we are. But that's how African Americans look at us. They look at us as we feel like we're superior, when it's just like that. No, it's not that we feel like we're superior. That's just how we were raised. We were raised to feel superior. We were raised to feel like we're on the top. And that's the difference between the two. Once again, I'm not knocking any type of African American. I'm just saying that's just how we were brought up. But you can also look at these other races in these groups, and they're also taught the same thing. So what's the issue here? During the movie, right? I'm sorry if I spoiled the movie for you. Well, I'm not sorry. You need to see that shit already. The people of Wakanda, they did not want to share their resources to the rest of Africa. And not even just the rest of Africa, but the rest of the people that look like them. And, you know, the one thing that stuck to me was that I had to change my mentality when it came down to just being African, you know? Because I look at it and you see all these police shootings and you see racial discrimination and everything, and you're just like, yo, they look at me the same type of way. So why can't I help my brother out? My best friend is African American. We get along really well. And, you know, it's a culture shock when you see a different family and how they raise their kids. But at the end of the day, like, you need to stick with your people. And that's the whole message of the movie. You know, stick with your people. But overall, it was a good movie. I really did like it. It's one of those movies that I would watch again. I wouldn't say it's the best, but I'll definitely watch it again. But yeah, man, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. You know, I didn't really spoil anything for you guys, but yeah, go check out the movie Black Panther. It's a really good movie. All right, so I'm having an issue right now. I don't really want to call it an issue. I'm just having a problem. So it deals with religion, first of all, and you know, I've been raised in this Christian household and everything. But you know, as time moves on, you start to ask questions, and the questions that you ask don't really have a solid answer, and they're not good enough for you. And I've been having this issue for a long time because, you know, I go to a Nigerian church, and the way Nigerians believe things to be, it just feels like I just need more answers. And I'm always want to ask questions. I have to, just to understand. If I don't ask a question, that means I understand. But I'm having this problem because I'm struggling. Not struggling to believe, but struggling to just think about religion in one sense, you know? Like, I'm having a problem with the laws. I'm having a problem with how people perceive things. And that's the thing, like, people perceive things different. You know, in my church, you know, we talk about paying your tithe, and, you know, we talk about doing the good work of God. And I guess my struggle comes from just knowing who I am, right? And I feel like a lot of people struggle with just knowing who you are. But just knowing who you are, for sure, is the main thing. And I'm feeling some type of way because it's not that I don't know who I am, but it's like there's that point where I want to believe that Christianity is real. But then at the same time, I want to also believe that there's other things that make more sense than Christianity, right? And this is no knock to anybody that believes in religion, you know, because I still do wholeheartedly still have my foot in the door. It's just that other foot that's dragging, you know? And, you know, at this point in my life, all 24 years, I'm trying to search for the answers. Like, what is the point of religion? You know, I don't want to bash anybody for actually believing in religion, but I'm just saying, like, do you do it because that's how you were raised? Or do you do it because that's what you want to do? You know, God is real. Like, that's evident. There's nothing about that can ever be discredited. And I'm wholeheartedly speaking that truth because that is the truth. I don't care about knowing what God looks like because I know that God is around me. I know that God's forces around me and whatnot. I know that. But it's just the tiny things, the man-made things and just how people say you're supposed to live your life. I told myself that I'm still going to be the same person I am today that I'm going to be when I die. I'm not going to change because your religion tells me to change. I'm not going to change because that's what the Bible says. And, even struggling with the Bible, I very much understand a lot of the stories that goes on in the Bible. Very much understand it. But to take stuff that happened years ago, like when I say years, I mean years ago, and try to apply it to today, I don't know. I just don't know. But yeah, like the only thing that I'm really struggling with is having my foot in and believing that Christ is our Lord and Savior, and then my foot out that has the questions that, what if I'm serving a God? Or what if we're serving God the wrong way? Or what if some of the stuff that is being taught in the church is not true? Then what? We talk about what the angels look like. We talk about how heaven is, but we don't know. And it's okay not to know. That's the greatest thing about it. But we're allowed to ask. We're allowed to ponder. Just like we're allowed to ponder, we're allowed to ask. One thing that people don't do when it comes to God is they don't ask God questions. Like, you're allowed to ask God questions. That's the crazy thing about it. It's like you're allowed to communicate with God. It's not like some sacred thing. God will respond to you, But my whole issue is that when it comes down to what is true, then what is true? And I kind of found an answer, just dealing in the church and everything, I kind of found an answer. We have three voices in our head. We have the truth, we have the lie, and then we have God. And we always want to hear what God has to say about us or what God wants to tell us, because God is always talking to us. It's crazy because we hear God loud and clear, and that is what happens when it comes to our gut instinct. We hear God, but we don't hear God. And by an example of doing that, it's like if you see two doors and your gut is telling you to go left, but your head is telling you to go right, you're going to listen to your head. You're not going to listen to your gut. And that's where it comes down to just, living life and saying, hey, I'm going to listen to my gut. A lot of these successful millionaires, they said, I trusted my gut. And that's all credit to the Most High. But struggling with religion, backtrack. And my question is to everybody out there is like, what do you do in situations where you have questions? It's not about doubting. It's about the structure and how things go along. We're told to pay our tithe, but me, by myself, I just feel like my tithe doesn't necessarily have to be in the church. I can spread out my tithe and put it towards people, the people that actually need it. When I see these homeless people around on the streets, and that brings joy to my heart, and it also pleases God, because at the end of the day, Jesus came and he only attended the sick and the poor. He didn't really fool with the rich people, but yet the rich people are still getting richer. That's weird. And I don't know, like I just feel that way, and hopefully somebody can help me out. This is not a cry for help, but like I'm just saying, like, you have those questions that, is it true or is it not true? What's right and what's not right. And it's okay to have these questions, but hey, like, you're gonna live your life knowing that you had these questions or you felt this type of way, but you're still going to church and you're still trying to make yourself believe that there's something right about what's going on. Because I don't know. And I'm saying this to say that not all churches are perfect. Because, being in the church and seeing the politics and everything that happens behind the scenes, it's not pretty. Like, why should that happen in the church, right? But that's to say, whatever you believe in, make sure you believe in it wholeheartedly. And let's just keep it at that.
Say, man, if you really like the show, and I assume that you like it because you're still listening to the show, but if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, please, write us a review. It helps people find the show, for one, and it also gives people an idea of what's going on in the show without actually listening. So, it attracts other people, and I'm just asking, if you don't want to, it's cool. If you do, God bless you. Now back to the show.
Okay, so I have this question, right? It's kind of weird how life goes on, right? And you're going along this path, and things just happen for a reason, right? Sometimes good things happen, sometimes bad things happen. But the real question is that I have for you today is, can you ruin your own destiny? And by that, I mean, well, I don't really have to explain that. That's pretty simple, right? Can you ruin your own destiny? To me, I believe that you can. But I feel like as life goes on, like, you'll get those little cues that tell you, hey, don't take this turn, like, take this other turn. We mess up so bad that we end up in a circle our whole life until we get out of that circle. We go through so many obstacles in life that, things happen and we get over it. We go through a quiet storm and then bam, we're in the next storm. Like, that's how life works. Like, we're built to operate to overcome obstacles. But the question is, can you ruin your own destiny? There's a lot of people here on earth that are doing things that they don't really want to do. You know, every time I encounter people and I ask about people, just in general, like, what are you doing? Is that what you want to do? Do you really like doing that? And I'm asking because everybody has this sense of security that they want to obtain, but sometimes you have to struggle to get what you want. And I feel like nobody wants to struggle. I hear a lot of people say something about doing stuff just to buy past time and work on this other project or whatever, you know? Like, it doesn't make sense. Why would you ruin your own destiny? Why would you waste your time? Like I say, time is so important. Why would you waste it on something so silly, right? I'm saying this because a lot of people go to college. Not knocking college at all, but a lot of people go to college for something that they don't want to do. And now I'm asking you this question, can you ruin your own destiny? That is probably the prime example of ruining your own destiny, because you're doing something that you do not want to do. You have this gift, but you chose to do something for security. There's nothing wrong with security, but you can always find security another way. And I hope I open your mind and thinking about it. Like, ruining your destiny not only happens when you're in the job force and anything, it's just decision making too. You chose to go to this party and your instincts told you to leave, but you chose not to. Bam. You got a bullet hole in your shoulder. You see what I'm saying? Or just dealing with somebody, or dealing with crooked people or shady people. Bam, you found out that you're about to get locked up, you know? To even riding in the car with somebody and you find out that they have weed in the car and you don't even know. Bam, now you locked up. So it's stuff like that. And, you know, I'm only bringing this up because we seem to step in our own way when it comes to our destiny. You know, we don't listen to our instincts at all. But why is that? You know, I said it before, like, our instincts is telling us exactly what to do, but we don't listen. Why? You know, we always ask God to talk to us and blase, right? God is going to speak to you in the voice that is very familiar to you, plain and simple. God is not going to come to you and shout to you. God is going to come to you in the nice mellow tone of your voice. But if you choose not to listen, you know, if you choose not to do the things that are right, then yeah, you're going to suffer. You know, there's such thing as a untimely death, which is very important in today's society. Untimely death. And it's very important because if you ever put yourself in a situation where you end up dying before you're supposed to, then there's an issue. Your life shouldn't end any sooner than it's supposed to. Because, you know, it's crazy how people went to school and they got shot up. Nobody knew about that. That's not untimely. But you going and putting yourself in a situation like going to a party and you knowing that they're going to shoot that shit up. Or you back talking to some crooked police officer, you thinking he's not going to shoot you because he's quote unquote threatened. That's just what I'm talking about. Like, it's untimely. Like, you put yourself in a situation where you can suffer. That's your own destiny you're talking about. But get out of the way. It's easier said than done, but it just takes that level of awareness to know that, you know, I'm trying to live a good life. But hey, that's a question that you guys can answer for yourself. You know, hopefully that you, as you're answering this question, you look at yourself and say, am I ruining my destiny right now? Because that's what it is. It's just like, you need to wake up. If you don't wake up, then you're going to be in the same predicament that you're in. There's not a lot of people that their parents are successful. Very honest about that. But to break the cycle of your family, what are you going to do? You can only do so much, and that's fine. But do better. You know, I was thinking about my life as I was trying to recollect on things, right? And the question arises to myself, at what age did I decide to get my shit together? Because it's like one of those things where you talk to yourself and you start over. You're like, all right, well, Monday, I'm going to start doing this, this, and this. I'm going to just live a better life. And I was thinking about it because a lot of us go through that. You're not any different than anybody else for you to say that you haven't told yourself that I'm going to get my shit together. Unless you were raised that way, then, you know, kudos to you. But a lot of us out there just dealing with our parents and just dealing with situations that we go through, the circumstances that we put ourselves in financially, you know, just simple shit like that. We put ourselves through so much and then we get the short end of the stick. But there's one point in our lives where we told ourselves that we're going to get our shit together. And, you know, I can talk about myself because I only know about myself. And there's one thing that stuck to me that was very important was that I need to get my shit together right now because I owe it to my family, you know. The one thing that made me tell myself that I need to do better was, talking to my mom's boss. And this is right after my mom got out of the hospital, and they're asking when is she going to come back to work. I understand she run a business, but this is 2 days into the hospital, So I was just like, man, like, I can't have my mom working past 55. She's 51. Can't have her working past 55. I just can't. And that stuck to me. I decided for the better of my family that I'm going to make the best and do the best that I can do. And like, you just have to think about it, because some of y'all are really successful right now, but you don't really realize when you actually made that change. It was just something that happened over time, which is good. And that's why I say you guys need to follow along and do some challenges and change yourself, or challenge yourself in general, just because these little things that you do right now will benefit you in the long run. Make short-term goals, like have long-term goals, but break them down into short-term goals. Then write a step-by-step plan of what exactly you're going to do. If you have a blueprint right there, why wouldn't you be successful, right? I talk to people and I tell them to make these goals and write them down. And they're just like, no, I have it in my head. I'm good. I got it. All right. Well, I'll see you at the top. But I guarantee it, you're going to take a long time. And I'm throwing shade, because a lot of people say shit like that. And I just don't understand. I don't understand why you can't talk to people about it. I don't understand why you can't ask questions. Don't understand why you can't write this shit down. It's not that hard. But hey, I'm going to let everybody do what they want to do. Once again, this is the beginning of the year, right? It's about to be March. You really just have to do what you have to do and be strong. But yeah, guys, go watch Black Panther. It's a good movie, once again. Words of wisdom: if you're going through something right now, whether it's adversity or a heartbreak or whatever, it's temporary. And it's only temporary if you want it to be temporary. We all go through issues, and this is not me trying to minimize what you're going through, but we all go through problems. But like I tell myself in the gym, pain is temporary. It's not going to last. Find happiness in yourself, and everything else will follow. But yeah, guys, my name is Joshua. You were listening to More About Something Else. Hey, once again, if you like this show, go check it out on iTunes and rate it and subscribe to it. We got the archive of all the other episodes. However you're listening, I do appreciate that, truly do. But my name is Joshua, and I'm out.
Hey man, fuck all the bullshit. Ain't no rules to this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Do what the fuck you want to do out here. If you want to go be a DJ, be a DJ. You want to strip, go strip, my nigga. Do what the fuck you want to do. Ain't no rules to this shit. We out here. Stay determined, beloved.